Hello, you're watching Daily News on Allnews Nigeria. I am Opeyemi Olugbemi. Here are the headlines for today. INEC says election won't hold in some centers. Bank rejects old Naira notes despite Supreme Court rule. Governor odds 22 billion Naira amid Naira scarcity. Welcome back. Now the news in details. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has highlighted reasons elections will not hold in some polling units across states of the Federation and Federal Capital Territory. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, during a meeting with the national leaders of political parties in Abuja on Monday, said the elections won't hold in 240 polling units. According to Yakubu, the number of polling units ranges from 1 to 12 polling units in each state and the Federal Capital Territory, adding only Taraba and Imo State are with 34 and 38 polling units respectively.
There are 240 polling units without registered voters spread across 28 states and the Federal Capital Territory. They range from 1 polling unit to 12 polling units in each state and the FCT, except Taraba and Imo states with 34 and 38 polling units respectively. No new registrants choose the polling units and no voters indicated interest to transfer to them during the last continuous voter registration exercise, mainly for security reasons. This means that no elections will be held in these polling units.
The INEC chairman stated that the meeting was in fulfillment to regularly consult with political party leaders on the activities of the commission with a view to bringing them up to date on the preparations for the forthcoming elections. He said that after the redistribution of voters to new polling units in proximate locations nationwide. In other news, some commercial banks and filling stations have stopped collecting the old Naira notes from customers, contrary to the ruling of the Supreme Court restraining the federal government from enforcing the February 10 time limit earlier fixed by the Apex Bank for the currency swap. On Monday, February 13, some banks refused to accept the old 1,000 Naira, 500 Naira and 200 Naira notes from depositors and point-of-service agents who flooded the bank to lodge their cash. Point-of-service operators and other bank customers whose old Naira notes were rejected panicked as bank officials, who said they were acting on the Central Bank of Nigeria's directive, remained adamant. Over the weekend, a trending video showed how some bank customers were spending the night at various ATMs as a result of cash shortage. As the Naira crisis worsened, the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, again met the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, at the Presidential Villa on Monday. Emefiele, who had met with the President about 6 times since the Naira crisis started, failed to address correspondents as reportedly left the villa through a side entrance. Meanwhile, the citizens continue to bear the brunt of Naira scarcity. An elderly man was seen weeping bitterly over the inability to access his money from his bank. According to him, despite having enough money in his bank account, he cannot afford food and his daily drugs because no one wants to sell on credit. Finally, on the news, a chieftain of the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, and Northern Elder statesman, Buba Galadima, says he knows a governor from the northwestern region with 22 billion Naira of the old Naira notes stashed in his house. Galadima made this revelation during an interview on Sunday, February 12.
I know that there is a governor in the northwestern part of this country that has got, from intelligence, has got about 22 billion Naira of the old currency.
He stated that the federal government's decision to change the Naira note was to checkmate individuals who kept exorbitant amounts of cash in their apartments. And that's a wrap on today's news. To keep up with All News Nigeria, kindly follow us on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. We'll be back with more news updates tomorrow. Until then, stay tuned. I am Okwemi Ufemi.